Okay, so I found this interview. Let's see. I found this interview. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the Bad Bunny interview with Interview Magazine. It says right here on the post, it says international superstar Bad Bunny joins actor Benicio del Toro. One of my favorite artists, Bad Bunny. One of my favorite actors, Benicio del Toro. Both from Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico. Love these people. So anyway, joins actor Benicio del Toro for our March cover story to discuss the childhood influences that shape his music, his dreams for the future of Puerto Rico, and what's next after global domination. I'm very, very interested in this article. Very, very interested in this interview. So let's review it. I'm gonna reset the music real quick. Okay. All right, so here we go. Interview Magazine. Here's the article. So Bad Bunny takes Benicio del Toro into his private world. By Benicio del Toro, photographed by Jack Pearson, styled by Mel Ottenberg. This is February 13, 2024. Actually came out about 3 days ago. And it's Bad Bunny, as we can see him here on some, I'm assuming it's some vehicle. Yeah. So that's the picture, but there's a bunch of different pictures with it. So it all starts with saying, oh, Bad Bunny cannot be stopped. Since his 2018 debut studio album, Por Siempre, the Puerto Rican megastar has been putting out music at a radical clip, stockpiling fans and streams on his way to world domination. Over 5 albums, he has proven himself a master at colliding reggaeton rhythms from back home with the trap flows of the modern pop landscape, without compromising identity or culture or self. And he's not even 30 yet, although I think he's going to be 30 next month. The man born Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio has a seemingly preternatural need to just make shit. But where does that need come from? As fellow Islander Benicio del Toro finds out, he does it for the people. So here it is. March issue 553, 2024. Bad Bunny. All right, so this was on Thursday, 5 p.m., January 4, 2024, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So here we go. Bad Bunny says, I'm trying to turn on the camera, but I don't know why it won't let me. Benicio del Toro says, ghost. And then Bad Bunny, dude, I don't understand this technology shit. Del Toro, me too. I have people who help me with that. And then Bad Bunny, usually I have people, but today I'm dealing with it solo. I'm trying to put the camera on and damn. And then Del Toro laughs, no problem. You're going to miss out on the show I was going to give you. I was going to audition for one of your videos. No, don't tell me that. Del Toro laughs, how are you? Bad Bunny, I'm doing well, thank God. I just got to Puerto Rico today. Del Toro, you're in Puerto Rico? Do you spend a lot of time there? Bad Bunny, I try to come as much as possible. You could say I spend a lot of time here. I moved to LA at the beginning of 2023 to see if I'd like it. But before that, I'd always lived here and I've still been traveling back and forth. I'm here for the holidays to spend time with family. And then Del Toro says, nice, I saw you at the game where LeBron broke Kareem's record. Bad Bunny, you were there? And Del Toro says, no, I saw it on TV. Bad Bunny, Del Toro, you're a big basketball fan, huh? Bad Bunny, yeah, I'm a fan of sports in general. It's basketball, baseball, boxing, like any Puerto Rican. Yep, and this is funny because, you know, as a Puerto Rican myself, everything that he just mentioned here, so basketball, baseball, boxing, that's like our main thing. Those are the main sports that we watch and that we grew up with and that we had accessible to us, right? Because like football, they didn't really show it on TV where I grew up or when I grew up. But I did become a fan later on whenever I moved over to the States. But also like playing in school, it was basketball, baseball, boxing, and even volleyball. So like in school, people will be really good in volleyball as well. But yeah, this is so true. This is such a true statement. So yeah, I can relate myself with that like crazy. And then Del Toro says yes, and then Bad Bunny says, and in LA, since I'm a Lakers fan, I've taken advantage of that. And I think, I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think, because I don't know, I don't think many Puerto Ricans are Lakers fans, but I think Bad Bunny's a Lakers fans because of Kobe Bryant. I don't think necessarily because of LeBron, but I do think that he's a fan of LeBron James and he's cool with LeBron James. He hangs out with LeBron James. I think, but I don't think he's a fan of the Lakers because of LeBron. I think he's a fan of the Lakers because of Kobe Bryant. And, you know, I think he grew up when Kobe was, you know, a mega superstar. When I was growing up, it was Michael Jordan. So I'm more of an MJ guy, but I'm not a Bulls guy. So I don't really follow teams like that, but maybe his connection to Kobe and then his friend LeBron going to the Lakers kind of cemented his fandom for the Lakers. So more pictures here about Car and Bad Bunny. And then, okay, we continue the interview with Del Toro, who says, nice. I noticed you have a connection to sports since you included Francisco Lindor, who plays for the Mets, in one of your videos. Another thing about Francisco Lindor, he's from my hometown. He's from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Caguas represent. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Francisco Lindor. Bad Bunny says, he's in the video for Yo Visto Así. I always involve athletes in my music videos. I've also had many wrestlers too. I love Lucha Libre. And same thing with the Lucha Libre shit. Growing up, huge wrestling fan. And I don't know if that's, you know, a lot of the Puerto Ricans who have that, but like the wrestling scene in Puerto Rico, like the local scene has always been a really good product. What they put, you know, on the shows, and you can go to the events or you can watch them on TV, or at least you used to be able to. I'm so disconnected that I don't know if they have that shit anymore. But I was a huge fan of WWF growing up. I don't know. It's something that we have in our blood, and it's so crazy to see him so involved in wrestling and see him so involved, not just like mentioning or having wrestlers in his music videos, but freaking going out there and freaking doing this crazy stuff, wrestling and all that. Then Del Toro says, well, I saw you in the 2023 film about a lucha libre wrestler, Cassandro. Bad Bunny says, you did? Del Toro, yes, I follow your work, I'm a fan. And Bad Bunny, wow, that was one of my first times acting, I was nervous. Del Toro, oh yeah, that was filmed before the 2022 movie Bullet Train. Bad Bunny, yeah, that movie, my scenes at least were filmed 3 years before the movie came out. Del Toro, oh, I see, it was really good, man. Bad Bunny, thank you. I'm going to need you to share some acting tips. Del Toro, I'm always down to help a brother out. Hey, a question I wanted to ask. Where did the A imitates Bad Bunny's signature catchphrase come from? I don't think I'm imitating it. I don't think I'm imitating right. But anyways, Bad Bunny says, it's just a sound that comes out naturally. When I'm on the mic, whether it's to record a song or when I'm improvising, it's my way of getting the rhythm out. It's my way of getting the rhythm of the track. Like old rappers who use the yeah, sometimes I try to avoid it because I don't want to overuse it, but it always sneaks in. Del Toro, it's fantastic. You know, Roberto Clemente had a neck tick while batting, so when everyone would go play baseball, they'd crank their neck like him even if their neck didn't hurt. That's what you have. It's a tick that's turned into a classic. Bad Bunny, wow, I did not know that. Yeah, it's a tick that comes out naturally when I'm recording, and look what it's become. Del Toro, I'm going on a tangent, but what do you think about salsa? Bad Bunny, I have so many things to say. Are you asking in general? Del Toro, you and I grew up listening to music, and one of the first genres we as Puerto Ricans are introduced to is salsa. There's this root in our early memories of music, stemming from Roberto Roena or Fania Records artists or Willie Colon or Eddie Palmieri. In your music, I've heard salsa influences, and when you go the salsa route, you do it fantastically, but you don't explore it often, or do you? So this is so true about salsa as well. So I was born in the 80s, where salsa was still super prominent in the 80s and in the 90s. I think it has kind of slowed down from the 2000s on forward. But it's true. I mean, in every household, you're going to listen to salsa music. Most parties that I went to, there was salsa music. I mean, salsa is such a huge part of our culture and who we are. All right, so let's see. Bad Bunny says, well, look, I need to figure out when this interview comes out. But in general, I'm a big salsa fan. My dad, okay, so hang on. This is important right here when he says, I need to figure out when this interview comes out, because maybe he may be hinting at something coming out of him with salsa. So I don't know, be careful or pay attention to that thing right there. He says, I'm a big salsa fan. My dad listens to salsa while my mom was more into merengue and ballads. As a kid, that's what I listened to. Some of the first CDs I bought were by Marc Anthony and Victor Manuel, because when I was a kid, they were the younger salsa artists who were popular. That's true. I listened to tons of Victor Manuel. I listened to tons of Marc Anthony. When I was a child, my older cousins would put on reggaeton or other genres, and I'd tell them, no, I'm a salsero, and I'd throw down some moves. I wasn't good at dancing to salsa, but I'd try. So as an adult, ironically, what I listen to the most on a daily basis is salsa, and I do too. Well, no, I do listen to Bad Bunny a lot, but I do have my salsa itch every now and then. If you were to ask me what album I've been listening to during the past weeks on repeat, I'd say it's Apollo Sound 9 by Roberto Roena y su Apoyo Sound. Del Toro, man, that's fantastic. Bad Bunny, I've been waiting for salsa to have its resurgence. There are some young salsa singers who are good and have incredible voices. I don't know if you're aware of what's happening with Mexican artists who sing corridos tumbados, Peso Pluma, and a new wave of youths who are taking regional Mexican music and transforming it into something modern and current. They're taking the world by storm. Mexican music is popular again in a really cool way. So I think he's mentioning this kind of to say that maybe there's something similar can happen with salsa, and maybe salsa and reggaeton can kind of like combine forces and you know, inspire that resurgence. That maybe it's what it did for regional music. Del Toro says, yeah. Bad Bunny says, and I've been praying for something similar to happen to salsa. So there you go. For someone young to turn salsa into something modern and cool, something that kids will want to listen to and not see it as like music that my dad listens to. And Del Toro, you always look forward, and I admire you for that. And since you're always looking forward, I'm not trying to crucify you, but I do have to ask, where do you see Puerto Rico in the next 50 years? And this is a very interesting question, because I'm curious about that as well. I mean, we're at a really pivotal time where I think that alliance between Movimiento Ciudadano and the independent and el Partido Independentista, it's gonna tell us a lot about what's gonna happen down there on the island. I think that's a positive thing, but we'll see if it does anything, right? It's been so hard to dethrone the PNP and the PPD, but hopefully it happens here soon. So Bad Bunny says to that question about where does he see Puerto Rico in the next 50 years, he says, damn, that question. Hang on, let me lower this a little bit. He says, I've been interacting with new people from other places who ask me about Puerto Rico. And I always say that Puerto Rico, in terms of culture, in terms of our people, we have the potential to be whatever we want to be. I'd like to see Puerto Rico be more aware of what we're capable of. Most of the island's new generation is more conscientious. They want the island to improve and they want to make a change in their community. But my dream is to see Puerto Rico develop within our own community, not with foreigners. Not that we can't do business with other countries, but that as natives work together to shape the island's future. Does that make sense? Del Toro says, yes, protect the culture. Bad Bunny, yes, man. I love that you're asking me about this, because yesterday I was writing a song about this. I don't know when this interview will be out, so I can't share much about it. But if we were talking in private, I'd tell you so much, because I woke up at 4 a.m. in a dreamlike state and wrote a beautiful song about this. Oh, that's cool. I'm definitely looking forward to whatever this is. Especially because, you know, it's 2024 right now and it is election time, right? It's election year. So I think Bad Bunny can influence so much of the vote in Puerto Rico to see what's going to happen and kind of shape up the future in a way. And then Del Toro says, yesterday night while you were writing that song, I was watching the game between the Lakers and the Miami Heat. Okay, and then Bad Bunny laughs, okay. And then Del Toro says, the Miami shirt said Heat culture. Pat Riley cultivated this culture within the Miami team with Coach Spoelstra and the players. It's a culture of taking basketball seriously, so it's interesting how important it is to protect culture, because at the end of the day, it's all we have. Yeah, and Miami's really known for that, right? Like, but there's a culture everywhere. So just having a culture itself and protecting the culture, I don't think that's what it's about, but it's about protecting the right culture, right? You have to shape the culture for the people to kind of like take off, and then protecting that. There's a lot of things in the culture of Puerto Rico that we want to protect, but there's a lot of things in the culture of Puerto Rico that we want to, like, I don't know, change quite a bit, because we can't continue that at all. And one of the cultures, what culture am I talking about? I'm talking about this culture and this mindset of dependence, that we depend there, like we have to depend on something or someone. Someone has to come save us. We can't do anything by ourselves. So that culture, that mindset has to change. Some more pictures, Bad Bunny. And then Bad Bunny says, I love what you just said. Puerto Rico is beautiful, but what makes it special is its culture. When people travel to the island, they're looking for gorgeous places and beaches, but you can find that anywhere. What gives the island its enchantment is our culture. Del Toro says, I have to give you props, because when you mention Puerto Rico in interviews, you talk about up and coming artists from the island, but you also bring Ricky Martin out on stage. And I read that you're doing something with Eddie Palmieri. You're not just focusing on the new. I'm thankful for that. And Bad Bunny says, fuck, thanks. Del Toro, you did it, baby. Hey, I was going to ask you another question. Who were your reggaeton idols when you started out? Bad Bunny says, man, I've been a reggaeton fan since I was a kid. I listened to every reggaeton artist who broke out during my era from the 2000s. Tego Calderon was the first reggaeton artist that I became a big fan of as a kid. I was also a big fan of Vico C, who sparked controversy over whether he's a reggaeton artist or a rapper. Anyway, whatever he is, I consider him to be a big part of my influences. Then there's obviously Daddy Yankee, Wisin y Yandel, Héctor El Fadel, René, Calle 13. Then came Arcángel, who's part of the second generation or third. As I like to say, those were my guys. And then Del Toro, and do you listen to rock or soul or music in English? I mean, of course you do, but do you also listen to music from other countries, not necessarily in English or Spanish? So Bad Bunny says, I really listen to, as they say, a bit of everything because I have my moods. Lately, I've been hooked on New York style jazz from other countries. I don't really have someone specific. I'm looking through my playlist to see what I have. And Del Toro says, I was listening to Charlie Parker the other day, and I thought about you, like maybe he listens to Charlie Parker. Bad Bunny says, did he do Latin jazz? No, and Bad Bunny says, oh wait, and Del Toro, he made some jazz that had a Latin rhythm, but yeah, he was an African-American from New York who did bebop. Miles Davis admired him a lot, and Dizzy Gillespie, I think, I'm not a musicologist, but I think he's the one who introduced the congas as a main instrument to the Cuban jazz artist Chano Pozo, who also wrote his own music. Bad Bunny says, Cuban? Yes, Cuban. We're talking about the 1940s after World War II. Bad Bunny says, you're schooling me here. No. Man, I love Del Toro. This is an amazing combination. And then Bad Bunny says, no, thank you, because I like learning. And then Del Toro says, with bebop, that kind of jazz they made in the 40s after the war, that jazz is like what you guys did with reggaeton, right? It's like a genre that comes out of nowhere that many people find through. And then Bad Bunny says the streets. Yeah, people were scared of it. And Bad Bunny says, because it's music for the people. When it's for the people, others get scared. Exactly. Well, we talked a bit about music. I have some questions they sent me. One says, if you weren't a musician, what would you do? And Bad Bunny says, I actually dreamed so much about having this career. I'd come home from school and go straight to the computer, making beats and learning to record my own music. I'd sometimes say, damn, if this isn't meant to be, I don't know what I'll do because I don't have another dream. But obviously, I had to be a realist. I wasn't going to be lazy thinking that I get everything I wanted. So I went to college. I had my job bagging groceries at Econo to at least pay for gas. If I wasn't going anywhere with my music, I was going to work in the culinary arts. I saw cooking as something creative because sure, there are recipes, but there's also the opportunity to craft your own dishes and to create your own flavor. And Del Toro says, what do you think about the fact that non-Spanish speaking fans don't understand your music lyrically? Why do you think they connect to your music if they don't know what you're saying? And this is very true. I know a lot of people that do not speak Spanish who love his music. So Bad Bunny says, man, it's like I've always said, music doesn't have a language. Obviously, reggaeton with its Afro-Caribbean roots and that rhythmic pattern that makes you dance, you can't help following it. With that through line, I can connect with people. That's the biggest challenge these days with music, connecting with people. There are artists who sing at an incredible level, but they can connect. Part of why I've won over fans is because I'm honest, whether it's through songs about fucking around or sex or love or about my sadness or Puerto Rico. I don't want to be someone I'm not. And I reflect that in how I present myself on the streets and on social media and in my interviews. I'm not being fake. I think people, no matter what language they speak, I can feel it. And Del Toro says, you struck a nerve and people connected. How important are the people who knew you before you became Bad Bunny? Who are they and what do they provide for you? Bad Bunny says, I had so many people supporting me from day one. Most of the people who work with me in my day-to-day life, my personal crew, they're friends from high school and from childhood, my blood brothers. I've always been a firm believer that you can have the world, but if you don't have someone to share it with, you don't feel so cool. So I'm very happy to be able to share all of these experiences with them. I'm traveling around the world doing things that I could never have imagined and can share it with people who believed in me since the beginning, long before turning into who I am today. It means a lot that they can be part of this, that they can inspire me. No matter where in the world I am, they can make me feel at home. There's always someone in the friend group who lives life like a movie, but in this case, we're all grounded and that helps me keep grounded too. And Del Toro says, I understand you wholeheartedly. Another question I have is, you've been exploring acting. What does it provide to you artistically that music does not? And where are you right now in your acting career? And Bad Bunny says, at the moment, I don't have anything in the works. I've been wanting to write to my team to see if there are more opportunities. I have my tour coming up, so my calendar's a little busy, but it's something that I like to keep exploring. I'm in no rush to jump into a new project because I like to develop my skills. I don't want to rush into a big role where when I still feel like I'm not at that level yet. I want to win those roles according to my skills and work my way through the industry step by step. And Del Toro says, when you have time between music, take the risk and go for it. Someday I might come knocking on your door. And Bad Bunny says, gosh, thanks for the advice. And Del Toro asks, what's your haven? It's music. It's my family, my friends, the beach, Puerto Rico. Whenever I need to hide out, I go there and write. I write lots of songs for myself that I don't even record or put out. In previous interviews, I've said that my best songs haven't been released yet, and it's because the songs I write in that state are in the vault. People might not be interested in those songs because it's not what they want to listen to, so I protect that side of myself. And Del Toro asks, now that you're in Puerto Rico, are you writing? Bad Bunny says, yeah, and you walk around with a pen in hand because you could get an idea at any moment, right? And Bad Bunny says, I walk around with my phone, and anytime an idea or melody comes to me, I write it up in the Notes app and record a voice note. Del Toro asks, well, man, is there something left to say? Bad Bunny says, thank you so much for this, man, for taking time to share with me. We have to do this again, but longer. Right now, I'm heading to Berlin to film a movie, and I'm going to be busy because I might film 2 movies back to back. But after that, I have to go to Puerto Rico for a bit. I'm going to have some free time, so let's see if we can sit and chat about ideas and whatnot. And Bad Bunny, Yeah. So that was Del Toro, and then Bad Bunny says, "I love to. With the upcoming tour, I won't be here much, but I hope to be able to come as soon as possible. I liked our conversation, and it left me wanting to talk about salsa more." Del Toro, yeah, we should discuss it more and also do some stories in Puerto Rico. I've written some stuff to film there. We can talk about that later. And Bad Bunny says, "Damn, yeah." There you go. So interview translated from Spanish by Tatiana Tenreiro. This is awesome. This is really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. That's really cool. Combination right here of Del Toro and Bad Bunny. So nice. This is cool. I really enjoyed this interview a lot. I liked it. I hope they do get together, right? I do hope that I do hope that Del Toro reaches out to Bad Bunny and maybe, maybe comes and acts with him, and maybe a movie that he's directing or producing or something like that. That would be pretty cool, especially about Puerto Rico, because they're like, he just set up here. Like, yeah, we should discuss it more and also do some stories in Puerto Rico. Like, there's a lot of stories to tell about Puerto Rico. Like, there's one story that comes to mind right now. There's no like really good book about it, but there should be a movie about Pedro Albizu Campos. There has to be a movie about Pedro Albizu Campos. Like, that would be such an amazing story. Like, the life that he had and what he did, like that's like kind of close to Oppenheimer, I think, type of levels, if you do it right. And same thing with like Betances and El Grito de Lares and everything like that. Like, if you did movies about those things, because right now there's a lot of, biographical movies and stuff coming out about people from the States and other countries, but we have some nice stories. Or Eugenio Maria de Hostos, that'd be a great movie as well, a great story as well. There's just so much that I hope that they do explore. And even if they just keep it in the literature, or not in the literature, but like in the fictional, you can still get so much. So anyway, but this is cool. This was the interview between Bad Bunny and Del Toro. I don't think they have it out on a video yet, but anyways, I just kind of went through it, read it. So hope if you're watching this, and if you listen to it, you enjoyed it. So cool.